Hello! So today we're talking about gluteus maximus, a muscle of extraordinary strength and potential. So this is the big muscle in the back of your butt. It's responsible for leg extension. It's your push off during walking. It's related to your will, your drive to push forward in life, your personal sense of power, strength, rootedness, groundedness, relationship to chakra 1, the root chakra, the stable foundation that we create in order to explore the world and stand in our own power. When you're working with this muscle, you're really channeling the energies of sumo wrestler, of bear, which is all about primal power and sovereignty, of bull, which is about potential and potency. And practically speaking, this muscle, responsible for leg extension, also helps to balance the action of the hip flexors. So the hip flexors are responsible for this motion, and the glutes help to bring us into balance so that we can maintain this strong, upright, powerful posture. It also helps to support and protect the lower back. But what we see a lot in many people, myself included, is that these muscles are not really working to their full potential. There's a number of reasons for this, to do with how we stand. So if we stand like this, generally you can see that these muscles are stretched. We're really hanging out in the hip flexors. We might be locking out the knees so that we're not really doing much with these. Or we hang out like this, so we tuck under, and again, we're just dropping into the legs, we're letting them do all the work, nothing much is happening here. A lot of us also spend time sitting down for a large part of the day. When you're sitting down like this, the muscle here, your glute max, is stretched. Your muscles in your hips, your hip flexors, are shortened because you're in hip flexion. None of these muscles are really actively engaged or working, so what you end up with is these short, under-optimized hip flexors and overstretched, under-optimized glute muscles. Because the hip flexors are tight, they inhibit the ability of glute max to kick in for the extension. So what happens then, because it's a bit overstretched, it's a bit under-optimized, it's a bit inhibited by these other muscles, namely the hamstrings, get recruited to help out. So the hamstrings are also responsible for leg extension along with glute max. What's supposed to happen is your glute max kicks in, then your hamstrings kick in. What often happens, and what we often see, and I see this in myself on a daily basis, is that my hamstrings kick in first, and then maybe my glute max kicks in right at the end, if it can be bothered. There's a feeling of, oh, am I late? Oh, it looks like you've got this covered. You know, it feels like it could probably do the work if it wanted to, but what's the point? So, what we're going to do today is have a look at how to work out which of your muscles is firing first, and then if you're finding that your hamstrings are firing first, how do we reset the hierarchy so that we're re-establishing the glute max in their regal position at the top of the line, followed by the hamstrings. So we're going to start lying down on our fronts, getting into a position that feels comfortable. And the first thing we do to work out how the muscles are working is we do some leg extensions. So you can either just feel into your body and see what you feel is kicking in first. If you find that difficult, you might find it helpful for somebody else to put one hand on the back of your thigh and another hand on your butt so that they can get a sense of which muscles are kicking in first and help you to understand what's going on. So you're just going to extend the leg up a few inches on both sides. And you might need to do it a few times to get a sense of what's going on. I can quite quickly tell that my hamstrings are very definitely kicking in first. My glutes don't feel like they're doing much at all. So once you've done that, once you've figured out what's going on, and if your glutes are kicking in first, then well done. You're very unusual. If your hamstrings are kicking in first and you want to try to reset the hierarchy, or at least begin to strengthen your glutes, what you do is you get your thumb, or equally somebody else can do this for you if that feels better. You stick it into the big meaty part of your butt and you just engage your glute muscle around it. So all you're doing is you're sticking your thumb in and then you're squeezing your glute muscle around it against your thumb. So we'll do that a couple more times. Stick your thumb in, squeeze, activate, engage that glute muscle and release. So do that a few times. Once you've done that a few times, you stick your thumb in quite firmly, engage the muscle, and then extend the leg a few inches up in the air and come back down, and then release your glute. Stick the thumb in, engage the glute, really focus on the glute, don't think about the hamstrings. If you feel the hamstrings kicking in, start again. Just go for the thumb, go for the glute, and then extend the leg and come back down. So doing that a few times. One last time, thumb in there, engaging that muscle firmly and extending the leg. And then coming back to just doing a leg extension, seeing if anything's changed. So I'm actually going to think about engaging my glute first. So I am going to do this consciously. I'm going to think about engaging my glute and then lifting my leg. And what can I feel? I can feel that my glute is working now and my hamstrings are actually kicking in second. You might not feel that straight away. I practice this on a daily basis to reset the hierarchy because my glutes most definitely have a tendency to go offline and let everyone else do the work. So I'm very used to doing it. What you might find is that you just start to engage your glute muscles, and that's fine. Over time, you will then start to feel that you are resetting the hierarchy and getting everything working in the right order. I hope that this has been helpful. If you've got any questions, please leave a comment or message me and I would be happy to help. Thank you very much.